I was working as an RN, and I had a stroke, and when I went to rehab, they said I could no longer work as an RN. So I was just thinking, we were going through the list of jobs and things, and I just thought here would be a good place to go, in a Red Cross. I've heard about it, so I thought I would go see that. And I really like the Red Cross. I've been doing it now for 2 years, and I really get a lot out of it. I enjoy working with the soldiers. Their mission, as far as Fort Bliss goes, is service to the armed forces, so we look after the soldiers. We look after their families and their outer families also. When they call in for messages and stuff, we have to treat them like they're our family. I think that anybody that wants to volunteer for something and they don't have enough time, they just come in and do your 2 hours, do your 4 hours, 4 hours a week. Whatever you can do is a big help to us.
I've been with Red Cross about 5 years. Almost 3 of those were as a volunteer, and then I was hired in as a permanent staff member. Well, I had started out in disaster services, and I had wanted to do something to help the community, of course. That's what we're in the business of doing. And I quickly moved over to the Service to the Armed Forces team. I have a lot of friends and family in the military, and I was doing a lot of military volunteer work with other organizations at the time. So when they formed the Service to the Armed Forces team at my chapter, it really gave me the opportunity to expand and do something that really tugged at my heartstrings. Well, I really feel that the symbol of the Red Cross is a very powerful statement worldwide, especially with our military community. And after you've been on those deployment zones and you come back to a CONA station, even here walking around base, when our service members see the Red Cross, it means something to them. It has an impact because we have touched their lives, and they know that we are here 24/7 to be part of their life. Here on Fort Bliss, we have a lot of prospective volunteers just simply stop by the office. They want to have that personal contact, and we can help them get started on the online application. And the great thing about the American Red Cross and volunteering is once you are a Red Cross volunteer, especially with our service members as they change duty station to duty station, it is an easy transition. We literally click the button, and their records are at their new location, so it's a seamless transition for them to be able to continue supporting the Red Cross.
My neighbor, my next door neighbor, saw the flame when it started, and she tried to get help, but she couldn't because everybody was out of the houses except one neighbor. He was on the cell and he was walking on the sidewalk. So he was the one that called the fire department for me. And I didn't even see it when it started because I had taken my van to have the air condition fixed. When I got there, I could see all the black smoke. And by the size of my house, I right away said, "Oh, that's my house." And sure enough, but the fire department was already there. Then came the American Red Cross, who was fabulous. Oh my God, I was so happy to see them. And that's how come I love them so much, because they were there for me all the way. Now you see my house, and it's like it never happened. But I was very blessed with the American Red Cross.
Well, I was finding it difficult to find employment here in El Paso, and it was quite lonely at home without my husband there, and so I decided to volunteer, and Red Cross is all over base, so decided to come over there, made some really great friends, and figured out exactly what they had to offer, and it turned out they had a Veterans History Project. And as a history major in college, I haven't been able to do much work doing that, so I found it really interesting and decided to stay around, and then just picked up more activities as the time went on. Really, the interaction with people, the families. I do a variety of things for community outreach, including like briefings and homecomings, and I really just enjoy seeing homecomings the most. There's nothing better than seeing a family get to see their spouse or father for the first time in 10 months to a year. It really makes me happy to be there when huge things are happening in people's lives. Well, volunteering at the Red Cross is important It does keep you busy at some level, and you do get to make great new friends that are going to be with you, and they're really like your second family, especially if you've got a deployed soldier. But really, you're doing something so worthwhile, and you're giving back in such a huge way. You make a huge difference in people's lives, whether you see it on a daily basis or not. And it's really important to be able to give back when you can.
I actually specialized in nonprofit studies because I did some volunteering in my 20s. So when I went to grad school, I knew I wanted to end up in nonprofit. So Red Cross is just such a big brand and a well-respected organization that when they had an opening, I was ecstatic to apply for it. And then, of course, get hired. Yeah, my husband is stationed here at Fort Bliss, and he works in transportation. He's deployed one time to Kuwait, and I found it a great comfort to have that 800 number for Red Cross emergency messaging. I knew if there was an emergency, how to reach him, and that brought me a peace of mind. So that everywhere that we go as a military family, Red Cross is there. So they're a partner for us as a military family, and it's an organization I'm very happy to be affiliated with because of that. The Red Cross, we do so many different things. We do disaster services, we do services to the armed forces, we do restoring family links, we do health and safety training. The thing that I love the most about Red Cross is that we're 96% volunteers. So people who are doing those training classes, those are volunteers. People who are giving you blankets and a bottle of water in the middle of the night after your home is burned down, those are volunteers. So we can't do our job, we can't function as an organization without our volunteers. They are so important to us, and I'm so grateful for them. And I've volunteered for a number of organizations, and volunteers in general are wonderful people, but Red Cross volunteers are just a special breed of volunteers. They're so generous with their time and with their efforts, and they have the biggest hearts.
The most important aspect of the Red Cross's mission is the fire victims' assistance. I had the experience of having a house fire after having been rescued from the second floor and finally made it onto the ground. One of the very first people that was there to offer assistance was a Red Cross volunteer. Again, I was very surprised. It was almost as if the Red Cross volunteer had been dispatched with the fire department. They arrived almost at the same time, and their assistance and offering if I needed a place to stay, if I needed medication, or if I had a prescription for glasses, it just truly surprised me. I told my story over the radio the following day. I was interviewed by a local radio station, and the calls started coming in. The radio station contacted me and said, we have people that want to donate. I said, please call the Red Cross and make your donation there. And I later received a phone call from the Red Cross that there was a huge outpour of donations coming in, and what would I like done with them? I said, please use them as resources for someone else. I'm okay. But it was just it was fantastic to see the people respond so quickly. And that's one of the things about our humanity is our ability to help others. It's a true test of friendship and humanity, and that you're willing to reach out to and help others. I would definitely encourage anyone who has the time to volunteer with the Red Cross. A volunteer was the first one to assist me after my house fire. And I have become a huge supporter of the Red Cross, again, through donations, and not just for fires, but disasters. Just as soon as I woke up and heard the news of the Oklahoma tornadoes, my first phone call was to the Red Cross to donate that very day. Absolutely, they put the human in humanity. A huge thanks to the Red Cross and their volunteers for what they do.